Hey guys, today the devs have dropped a new event. It's a prototype event. Event is pretty good because you get prototypes from the new prototypes. Sorry, you get new prototypes for this event, and you are able to get all the prototypes from the previous events, which is really good. So the three prototypes that came out for this event was the prototype suppression of Scheme, prototype Armor Devourer, and the prototype Park Muck Mechon Resuscitator. I apologize if the pronunciation is wrong, but I will go over them more in detail later. But basically, all these you see these previous prototypes from previous events, you're able to obtain them. So if you rank up from CC 9 to 10 and your power level goes up, you're able to get all of these if you grind the event hard enough. I was given these items from the Zero City dev team, so I can make a guide for them, and I will do that in this video. So please bear with me while I go through this event. So when the prototype event is activated, this island gets activated. When there is no prototype event, this island is not accessible. It'll say coming soon, or it says not active, or something of that sort. So like as of right now, it's matching with the Irish clover theme in the island. So this will like change up here and there. They have some pretty nice skins. You have a nade. You have a ranger suit. You have a chem suit. You have a tank suit, infantry, I guess, and then another one, and then the axe for it. These items are obtained via these points. So basically how it works is I'm gonna refresh it for the sake of the video, but basically you attack these things, attack these waypoints, right? Then you get a chest like this, and in those chests you're able to obtain skins. Um, if I'm correct, in order to obtain these two skins, you have to attack this final boss, which gives a legendary crate. If I'm correct, yeah, a legendary crate right here. It gives a legendary crate. So the smaller waypoints, or these waypoints, give the blue one, and then the last one the last one, this one, gives the legendary crate. But in order to get to this one, you need to clear all of them. But it's not that hard. If you have if your squad doesn't have any fake powers, you can easily clear this without any issues. It takes 368,000 food, which isn't bad. But the chests, I feel like, are well worth it for the amount of food. But so you get to do the quest and you get a chest. You can get some zombies and premium. If you do these quests, you basically get these chests and stuff. These chests are one time obtainable, so like once you do it, that you'll get it, and then you can never like get them again until the next time the event comes back up. There's a ranking system, but the rank doesn't give you any exclusive skins. It's just a health chip and crypto coins. And you can buy cards. So basically, in order how to open these chests, you have to collect the cards. You have to collect these cards and stuff. And there's blue, red, and green. If I'm correct, green, you can obtain green cards from doing the quest, sending food, buying crypto, and tunnel crates, and collecting missions. Missions is going to be the only majority of the way. Missions and sending food and collecting food is one of the main ways of getting these cards right here. Now for the blue chest, it's going to be bunkers and railroads. Bunkers and railroads the island is the most is the way to get the most amount of cards from. You can't obtain any cards from the blue category from doing arenas or collecting resources. So like when you not like when I mean collecting resources, like collecting resources that sending gifts, collecting gifts that your friends send. So when you collect gifts, you're only able to get green cards. When you do bunkers, railroads, and the islet, you will only get blue cards. And then for red cards, it's only majority is Alliance Wars, and Arena and Conservatory. But usually people just grind Arena and get a bunch of red cards, and that's like the best way I can tell you to get the red cards from. Now, talk back to this. There's three different passes you can get. There's a 10.99 silver pass, then you have the 21.99 gold pass, and then you have a 32.99 diamond pass. You can get these for way cheaper on the web market. If you go to here and click this, you'll go directly to the web market. And if you do it through here, or sorry, not that. If you do it through this web market, and if you buy the passes, you get like these exclusive stuff that you would get. Keep in mind that if you were to buy this from the Play Store or Google Play, you're not eligible for any of this. You have to buy from the My.Game web market. So the I would say the only, if you were to get a pass, the only pass that seems logical or worth getting would be either would not even either. It would just be the 32.99 pass. And the only reason I say that is cuz you get a permanent um pet, the clover, or basically the corky. A lot of people are calling it 1% happiness, and that's permanent. You'll always have it. It will never go away. It's permanent. And then also you also get premium, 15 days of premium. You get anonymous chips, or red chips I call them. Some Colossi cells, and then the crypto coins. The crypto coins, the premium, the red chip, and the corky itself is worth the value of the 32.99. But it'll be a little bit cheaper if you buy from web market. I think in my state or my country, it's gonna be 28 something if you were to get it from that. And when you buy the $30 or $32 pass, or $33 pass, you also get access to the content, or the battle pass premium selections. And in it is nothing crazy promising, which is why a lot of people might not be buying it. So you have the amulet bracelet of the traveler. Once in a while, the fighter fires a special projectile at the nearest enemy fighter. The projectile breaks the target's armor and disarms it for 3 seconds. During this time, the target cannot use weapon abilities. Upon breaking, the target receives 175,000 pure damage, and physical defense decreases by 25% for 3 seconds. Maximum 3 stacks. Also, this enemy fighter receives 300,000 physical damage over 3 seconds. Not the best. It's not the best, basically. But the stats of these things do go up a little bit when it's red, or put it onto a set. So do keep that in mind. So like this number can be a little bit higher. This number will be a little bit higher, and these numbers will be a little bit higher. This thing looks pretty cool. This one looks pretty good, but I have so many devices that have very similar effects to this that it's not worth me buying the 32.99 pass for. So the green beacon. Once in a while, the fighter blinds himself. The fighter binds himself. Sorry, not blind. Binds himself with an energy thread to an allied fighter with the lowest current health for 5 seconds. Their income and outgoing healing increases by 15%, and they restore 45% from their maximum health pool. Additionally, all healing received by the fighters is duplicated to each other while the connection is active. Healing received by the fighters from the device ability is not duplicated. It's okay, but there's so many other items out there that are way better. Devices that are way better. Like, I use this device is really good. A lot of people are using this, and you'll know that a lot of people are. And then another one, what was it again? This one was also good. No, it was just recent. Nope, not that one. I guess it was this one then. No, not that. This one. This one was this one came out from a hip black market, or the merchant, And this is a really good one if you were able to get it. This seems a little better in my opinion. The and then you have the multi-purpose weapon. Rotors of Rage. Oh, it's a lot. The owner of the special equipment goes into a rage. He grows in size and all of his parameters increase by 20% for 5 seconds. During this time, every second the fighter launches a shuriken at the enemy fighter. The shuriken bounces up 3 times upon hitting. The shuriken deals 250,000 physical damage to the target and applies exhaustion. Exhausted enemies receive physical damage equal to 100% from the attack of the owner of the special equipment every second. While the enemy fighter is exhausted, his damage and attack speed are reduced by 20%. The duration of the exhaustion is 3 seconds. The maximum 3 effects. Also, with 50% chance upon hitting, the shuriken will remove armor from the target for 3 seconds. The enemy fighters from whom the armor was removed loses 45% defense parameters and cannot use armor abilities. So basically, this concusses armor abilities. You lose defense stats. It goes to 3 enemies and it will deal 250,000 damage. And then it'll apply a debuff and it'll deal an extra 100% of the physical damage of the owner's attack every second for 3 seconds. So 300%. So let's say like it was a 300% of whatever the owner's attack is. But that damage will apply over 3 seconds if you want to make that, try to sum things up. And then also the parameters of all the stats go up by 20%. If you were to get this battle pass, or yeah, if you were to get the $30 pass or the diamond pass, whatever you want to call it, my best recommendation would for this would be on your tank, because if his parameters go up, then the tank would be the best bet because all the stats go up, the health goes up. The health is the most important thing. Then I'll also, when you open up your collections, this taskbar rises. So it's 0 out of 100 right now. And if I open this one taskbar, right? I got a bunch of stuff, right? It goes up 1 by 100. When I open up 100 of these chests, I get this and I get this. But I don't get this because I don't have a battle pass or event pass. But if I were to get an event pass, I would be able to get this. But this is something that's not that crazy to worry about. Like, you get these from in-games anyways. But this item is okay. It's not bad. But this is obtainable by everyone. Suppression bracket. Once in a while, the owner of the special equipment removes 5 random and positive effects from all enemy fighters and stuns them for 3 seconds. Removes 5 random positive effects from all enemy fighters and stuns them for 3 seconds. Additionally, for 3 seconds, the owner of the special equipment deals physical damage to all stunned enemies equal to 50% of their max health every second and restores health equal to 40% of the damage dealt to the ability. Okay, this item would actually be well worth putting on if you don't have any good multi-purpose weapons. Because honestly, I will be testing this out on my set. I was thinking about putting it on my ranger and seeing how well it does, because of the fact that it removes 5 random positive effects from all enemy fighters, and since I'm a 6-man, all of them will get removed. Even at 8-man fighters, all of them will get stunned for 3 seconds. Additionally, for 3 seconds, the owner of the special equipment deals physical damage to all enemy fighters equal to 50% of their max health every second and restores health equal to. So honestly, this might be even way better on a tank as well, because 50% of their max health every second. Physical damage. That's a lot of damage every second. For 3 seconds, I would put this on a tank if possible, if you guys get it. But the only I'm gonna test it and then I'm gonna give my responses on the Discord. If you guys have any questions, just ask on the Discord regarding that. And then finally, the prototypes. So there are 3 different prototypes that came out. Obviously, the suppression scheme, the fair Mockin resuscitator. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. Armor Devourer. So basically, these 3 prototypes, work differently on the type of armor it is. Chem has its own effects, Rangers have its own effects, and tanks have its own effects. So when the weapon's basic ability is triggered, the prototype owner summons 2 random enemy fighters of a mechanical beetle armored bug. The armored bug cannot exist until the end of the battle. Every second, the armor bug reduces the target's physical defense by 10% and magical defense by 10%. So I'm pretty sure this is just an error. Instead of magical, it should say chemical defense by 10%. An enemy fighter cannot have more than one armor bug summon on them. Every 1 second, the fighter attempts to remove the bug. With a 50% chance, this may succeed, and the effect is completely removed. If the armor bug cannot be removed, the fighter cannot use any abilities except for basic ones for 2 seconds. So basically, a concussion if they're not able to remove it successfully, and and a little bit of debuff. During the entire battle, when attacking, the fighter deals random damage to an enemy fighter in the amount of 250% of their attack and reduces the healing of that fighter by 15% for 5 seconds, a maximum of 5 effects. With each 3 activation of the ability, the selected target and all enemy fighters within a small radius cannot restore health for 3 seconds and also receive pure damage in the amount of 200% of the attack of the prototype owner. Then you have this one. During the entire battle, when attacking, the fighter decreases the physical and chemical defense and fortitude of 3 random enemy fighters by 15% for 3 seconds, a maximum of 5 effects. Genuinely, this is actually pretty good, but like the enemy fighter decreases physical and chemical defense and fortitude by 3 random enemy fighters by 15% for 3 seconds. But my question would be, how would this work after the 3 seconds are over? Like, will it keep stacking until it hits 5 and then it's done? Or like, yeah, I don't know how that would work. Now, this is chemical, chem. When enemy fighters dies on the battlefield, the owner of the prototype increases their chemistry knowledge and chemical defense by 30% for 6 seconds, maximum 8 effects. This would be really good on Desecrator or Pharaoh, whichever one you have. The reason why is because my Desecrator has already increased chem knowledge, right? For every living chemist on the field. And the unit's chem knowledge is increased by 20% of the duration battle once in a while, right? I have that. There's another one that gave more increased. Or I don't think I have it anymore on. There was another one that I had that it does increase it, but like that generally that would be a really good item to put on if I'm a Desecrator. Was it this one? This one. When enemy fighters die on the pro, because chem knowledge increasing chem knowledge by 30% is a lot for 3 seconds for a maximum of 8 effects. That's a lot of effects for one time, for one battle. And 30% increase in chem knowledge could be a game changer in deciding who wins the fight and who doesn't win a fight. Every once in a while, revive an allied fighter with 35% health. The revived allied fighter receives a shield that blocks all chemical damage for 5 seconds. This might be really good if you're versing a squad that is all chems or majority chems and like one tank or one ranger. Cause if there's not getting any chemical damage, that one unit will be able to like completely obliterate or do an insane amount of damage without any issues. But like one of my main concerns is like some effects have like where it'll buff the person that's low. But my only negative side about this effect is that when an allied fighter is low, right? There are some effects that I know we have in the game where it will increase their health or heal them up, and then it'll debuff the highest chem knowledge or highest health fighter, right? And those can also change the fight of a game as well. So if this blocks chem damage for 5 seconds, which is a lot of time, and if one of those units needs that buff where it doesn't really need the buff, but it really needs that debuff on the enemy fighter, and that cannot be activated because the fighter isn't low enough or isn't receiving damage, then that could also make the fight not favorable to you. And then you have this one, Cybermonk Flash, or not Cybermonk, Armor Devourer. Once in a while, the owner of the prototype increases the chemistry knowledge, chemical piercing for all allied chemists by 70% for 5 seconds. For all allied archers, archers is or rangers. Sorry, they just translated it wrong from Hustle Castle. All allied rangers damage, accuracy, and physical piercing by 70% for 5 seconds, and all allied infantry's defense and physical and chemical defense by 70% for 5 seconds. This prototype is really good as well. I don't know the full effects on like what's the cooldown and when it initiates, but when I do the testing later, all of the testings will be done in the Discord. But when that is done, I feel like this is probably going to be used by a lot of people in 8 mans especially. I'm not sure about 6 mans because there's a lot of good prototypes already, but like this event itself already has a good amount of prototypes. And then the last one. Once in a while, the prototype owner removes all concussion effects from themselves and becomes immune to concussion effects on a weapon for 5 seconds throughout the entire battle. When with a 60% chance of attacking, the prototype owner disarms a random opponent fighters for 4 seconds. The prototype owner removes all concussion effects from themselves and becomes immune to concussion effects on weapons for 5 throughout the entire battle. Okay, this doesn't make sense to me right here. Once in a while, the prototype owner removes all concussion effects from themselves and becomes immune to the effects on the weapons for 5 seconds. So I know there's concussions effects that happen specifically to a specific piece of armor. But let's say there's an item that says, "Oh, you can't use any abilities for anything besides your sets," right? I know there are some I know there are some items or some sets or some items that give that type of effect, debuff effect. How will this activate if that was the case? And then throughout the entire battle, with a 60% chance when attacking, the prototype owner disarms a random opponent for 4 seconds. This would be really good, but I don't know if it would be good with this weapon. I feel like the rapid fire cannon weapon would be way better because it shoots more faster, and every time it shoots, it has a higher chance of possibly disarming the opponent, which might be even better. And then you have this one. Once in a while during the 3 seconds, the owner of the prototype deals 3 random enemy fighters physical damage of 185% of their attack and inflicts exhaustion on them. Every second they receive physical damage equal to 110% of the attack of the owners of the prototype. While the enemy fighters have exhaustion, their damage and attack speeds are reduced by 20%. The duration of the exhaustion is 4 seconds, maximum of 4 effects. Get a one-time big sum of damage by the physical damage of the fighter, and then it does a little bit more, a little bit less damage, 110% of the attack of the physical damage, but it's every second for 4 seconds. So basically, good amount of damage, and then those people that got exhausted get debuffed. Their damage and attack speed is reduced by 20%. Every 3 seconds, the prototype owner deals random Every 3 seconds, the prototype owner deals random enemy fighters pure damage equal to 270% of their attack. This damage ignores shields and effects that reduce incoming damage. The fighter also restores health equal to 60% of the damage dealt by the ability. I don't like this one. I wouldn't try this one. Um, this effect damage ignores shields and effects that reduce incoming damage. There's a lot of items, and I'm pretty sure the rangers that are in set right now, I think they're more of a support set than they are of a damage dealer. Your chem fighters are more of your damage dealers, and I know for a fact there are weapons or items. I'm pretty sure there are weapons and bracelets out there that does very similar to this effect, ignores damage shields and effects that reduce incoming damage. So this might not be good if you only have one ranger. There might be way better ones out there. So there are these three prototypes are very very good. Honestly, I am considering putting one of these into my squads. I just don't know exactly where to put them yet. I just got on for the day and I was just looking through them. Everyone's been giving me positive review on all three prototypes. Um the one thing I should also mention is that if you do get if you do like rank up from another lower CC to a higher CC, you do have the opportunity to get the other prototypes. So do not. So if you have time, I do suggest grinding the game a little bit so you're able to get some of the missing prototypes, as some of them are also really good. One of them I would say that is a must-have is this one. Where is it? I'm just gonna show it to you. I'm hoping this one. I think that's from his cashback event though. I think that's cashback. Yeah, it's cashback. Oh no, it's not. It's right here. If you're able to get this one, this is really good. I suggest getting that if you can possibly get it. If you guys already have it, that's good for you guys. Good job. But other than that, thank you guys. One more final thing to say. If you guys do buy an event pass, I would highly suggest you try using my creator code combo. That is COMBO combo. When you purchase via my.games webpage, it supports me and it supports me making new content for the game. I want to thank the devs for giving me those prototypes to make guides or review, I guess, in some sort. And I also want to thank you guys for supporting me and subscribing and watching the videos, giving a like. Also, I run a couple of community Discord servers for Zero City. We have um, giveaways running right now, and you do have chances of winning crypto coins if you get picked. I highly suggest it. The links are going to be below. And thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.